স্যার আপনি ক্লাসে আছেন? আচ্ছা একটু আসবেন ওই মেকানিক্যাল ক্লাসে আছেন
কপি টাইপ
A very good morning to all. I, Sakshi Tyagi, Assistant Professor in Department of Mechanical Engineering, would like to welcome you all for the Open Day organized for Narayana School, Haldia by HIT AICT Idea Lab, Haldia Institute of Technology. I am pleased to invite you here for one-day interactive session with our AICT Idea Lab members and all the facilities available here. Basically, this program ensures enrichment of knowledge of students through interaction with eminent professionals and personalities from academics. The knowledge sharing session will improve the teaching and learning experience and hence benefit the society altogether. On the visionary end, this program is aligned with vision of AICT IDEA, where AICT has established this particular laboratory named as IDEA, which is known as Idea Development, Evaluation and Application Lab in AICT approved institutions all over India, which encourages students, whether they are engineering graduates or whether they are students like school students like you, for application of science, technology, mathematics and fundamentals towards enhanced hands-on experience and learning by performing, or you can say hands-on experience by product visualization. It is a common facility, this AICT lab, Idea Lab is a common facility in the institution which makes students more creative and imaginative. Students will be enriched with critical thinking, problem solving, design thinking, collaboration, and communication. This lab facilitates students as well as faculties, teachers to explore, experience, express, as well as excel by the NEP, that is National Education Policy 2020, as delivered by our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, by providing all the facilities under one roof for conversion of idea into prototype. To grace this particular occasion of Open Day program, we have with us eminent professionals of HIT, our principal sir, Dr. Subrato Mondal sir. I welcome sir on dais with a bouquet of flowers. Sir. Welcome sir. Then we have Dean School of Engineering, Dr. Tarun Kanti Jana sir with us. Please welcome him. We have Dean Research and Development, Dr. Asil Saha sir. Please welcome sir. The pillars of AICT Idea Lab, Dr. Gautam Kumar Bose, and co-coordinator, or we can say co-pillar of AICT Idea Lab is present with us, Dr. Devdatta Mushkar. Please welcome them. We also would like to welcome the teachers from Narayana School, Priyanka Das ma'am. Ranjit Kumar Nand sir, and Prasanjit Saha sir. Welcome sir. Now I would like all of you to please stand up for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगल नायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Now I would like to request our principal sir, Dr. Subrato Mondal sir, to come in the dais and deliver certain words of inspiration.
Respected my dear colleagues, our guests, and my dear students, very good morning to all of you. We are coming from schools, so you know the school is the knowledge of temple for you, for the students, right? For you, and schools will prepare you for the future nation leader. So I think you are going towards that direction. You are welcome to our AICT Idea Lab. I think you are the students of class 12. Is it? Or 10? Class 10? Huh? 10, 11. So very near future, some of you are coming in the engineering college, some are coming in the science stream and different streams. So you should know. I think you don't know that. You know anybody you that what is AICT? Because this is called AICT Idea Lab, so it should be clear that what is AICT. AICT is the full form of AICT is All India Council for Technical Education. It established in the year of 1945 as an advisory body, but in the year of 1987 it becomes a statutory body by the Act of Parliament, like UGC, MCI, just now it is now NMC, National Medical Council. Previously it was MCI. So it is statutory body. Without affiliation of AICT, no engineering college is valid. Nothing. Degree will be affiliated by the university, but quality, monitoring, development, everything will look after by the AICT. Until unless you are not affiliated by the AICT, the value of the engineering college is zero. So you should know that. Just few words only. There is number of declaration or number of statutes in the whole AICT books. But simple thing is the developing, monitoring of an engineering college. Only national importance like IIT, they have not required, but other all engineering colleges require this affiliation. Okay, now what is idea? Idea is actually Government of India established this lab in between. It is a joint venture of the institute and Government of India. Idea means I for Madam says rightly, I for idea, D for development, E for evaluation, and A for applications. But for what? Engineering, STEM, science, technology, engineering and mathematics. This lab is encouraging you to motivate the innovative idea. Actually, Idea Lab, it is the all facility will be available in the under one roof. Basically, when you will, I think what I have to say, when you will see something, then you can remember. But when you will do, then you can understand. Isn't it? So you can get that facility here. You see what the science or research work is going on. So some innovative idea may rise to your mind also. So I welcome to all of the students, go thoroughly by our experts and try to make some innovative idea for 24/7 and implement that. Because this is the right time. The idea may rise by anybody who is not in study. He can also make some ideas, and that is the research. And you will understand what is research here, and they will be prepared much more efficiently. So with these few words and a great success of this event, thank you to all.
Thank you so much, sir, for your motivating words. Now I would like to call Dr. Tarun Jana, sir, Dean School of Engineering, to motivate all.
Good morning to all of you. Respected Principal Professor Subrata Mondal, our Dean of Research Professor Asit Kumar Saha, Head of Mechanical Engineering Professor Gautam Bose, Professor Devdatta Ghosh, these two faculty members, senior faculty members are the coordinators and the main motive force behind developing this AICT Idea Lab, which is present over HIT campuses or premises. Other faculty members of different department of HIT, staffs, teachers from Narayana School Haldia, and of course the students for which the students program has been organized. Apparently it may seem to your mind that you are now in your class 10 or class 11 standard. Then what is the necessity of visiting an engineering institute at this early stage? Thing is that, as our principal has just pointed out, that the ideas of present day's industry has changed a lot. Earlier in our school days or in our college days also, similar to the school education, we had to undergo different subjects, we study different subjects, which has got a theoretical component, laboratory component, some structural components. But the possibility or the provision of doing something by hands was very limited. And that is the main lacuna. It was observed that students after passing through an engineering institutions, when joined industry, they cannot implement or they cannot materialize their idea or knowledge they have gained in their college life to the expectation of the industries. In the current days, the business all across the globe in different areas has changed a lot. We, the senior people who had undergone this transition, we had seen there has been exorbitantly change that had occurred over the couple of decades. Anyway, you are in the class 10, 11 level, you won't be able to see that particular changes, but quite a good portion of your professional life is still there, along with your education life. Right now, I believe that you are completely engrossed with your school education, particularly those who are in the 10 or 11 standard. You are thinking of or completely engrossed in your activities, how to crack different competitive examination in the class after class 12, maybe joint entrance or NEET or GMAT or something like that. Or some may pursue general education also. But what our government of India, particularly our regulatory authority, which our principal has already told, that AICTE has observed that the gain in the knowledge and skill should go simultaneously, so that whatever innovative idea that will be coming up in your mind, you'll be able to materialize those ideas by developing certain prototypes or products, which will give you the immense potential and experience what of the difficulties that you are facing while doing the work by hands. And that is how it will be possible for everyone to do justice to the requirement of the industries when they join after completion of your education. So that is the philosophy of the motivation behind developing the AICTE Idea Lab. So at this juncture I won't elaborate much, but I will appreciate that despite your daily class schedule, your home assignment load, preparation for joint entrance or any other similar competitive examinations, and of course your board examination, you have come forward and would like to spare one day with us so that you can have a just exposure to the different facilities which are available in an engineering institution, particularly our state-of-the-art AICTE Idea Lab, so that some idea you will be able to retain, and when you join your college education. One thing I would like to say that even if we do not pursue engineering education, still some sort of exposure to the development is essential irrespective of your professional activities. Even those who are supposed to are dreaming of pursuing medical education, they will also be extremely benefited if you undergo or if you have some ideas of the state of the art development that are going on all through the world. Now the developments are not confined to any specific areas. Even the facilities or the different technological development that are taking place in the computer science, IT areas, those are extremely useful in medical science as well. So lot of facilities, lot of technological developments are successfully utilized by the health science area to act to the potential benefit of these developments and to apply the same thing for healthcare. Similar attitude or similar approach is also applicable in other areas as well. So I believe that today's one-day visit to our different laboratories and particularly the AICTE Idea Lab and some lecture sessions that are organized by us, I believe that you will enjoy. So just have an open mind, try to feel the different areas of development, and you can also be able to coordinate what you are available in the society. So the laboratory is not a segregated island. So what are the developments are the facilities or the products which will be available over here? Those are very accurately part and parcel of our daily life and the societal activities. So with these small words, I wish a happy session that you will be enjoying all through the day, and I also wish in success of your career. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your motivating words. Now I would like to request Dean Research and Development, Dr. Asit Saha, sir, to say a few words or his thoughts regarding this such program.
Thank you. Very good morning to all of you. Respected Principal Dr. Subrata Mondal, there, Dean of Engineering, Professor Torun Jana, Coordinator of Idea Lab, Dr. Gautam Bose, and Professor Devdutta. So, you are here to visit AICT Idea Lab. So all of you are at the age, I think around 14, 15. So this is the right time to see the things, how everything is moving on. So this is the time where new ideas will be cropping up in your mind. And you will be thinking to make new things. Actually, if you see the history of discovery and invention, there are differences between discoveries and invention. You will see that most of the things were invented at this age. So those who are famous, who have already got Nobel Prizes, say Mother Curie, and similar sorts of famous people, scientists, engineers, you see that at this particular age, they have discovered, invented a lot of things. So why I am telling these all sorts of things? Because at this time you should understand the difference between this science, engineering and technology. What is the science? What is the engineering? What is technology? Actually, this engineering and technology has two parts. One is science and another one is art. What is art? Art is the knowledge that we gather or experience from our the knowledge that we gather from our experience, that is art. So combination of science and art is engineering, and technology is also that. But out of what is the difference between these two? In science, in engineering, science part is more than art part, whereas in technology, art part is more than science part. So, for example, this chair and table design. Here, more of art part is there. So, the knowledge that we gathered from experience that were applied here for the design of this chair and table. So, not much of science is involved. Of course, you can analyze now what is the advantage of the height of this chair and table. So, based on that, you can design better chair or better table, which will give us more comfort. So I think all of you must at this stage more exposed with science part. So you are gathering knowledge, that information. So that will be explaining why this is happening. So that is what is known as science. And if you combine this with the art part, that is experience that we gather, that will become engineer. So some of you, means after completion of your schooling, may come into engineering discipline. Some of you may go into technology discipline. Of course, there is not much difference in that. Some of you may go in science, I already mentioned science, engineering, technology. Some may go in literature, that art or commerce. So everywhere there is scope of invention. It is not that scope of invention is there only in science or only in engineering or only in technology. It is also there in arts, commerce also. So it is you should not feel inferior if you in future if you choose your career in arts discipline or if you choose your career in commerce discipline. So here I think you have come as I came to know that from 10th standard or 11th standard. So mostly you have come. So here you will be seeing the infrastructure by which, if you suppose if you are having some idea how to materialize that. Previously, tools of materializing those ideas, that means converting that idea into the things, were not so easy. In our time, of course, let me tell you that I'm a chemical engineer. So when I succeeded in JEE exam, my rank was 402. So I could get any discipline. So, but I choose chemical engineering. Why I choose that? At that time, some of my well-wishers told me that in this particular area, there is a chance to get Nobel Prize. So I choose. Though I was not very liking that particular area, ultimately, of course, I find lot of things, of course, are there in that particular discipline. It is a balanced tree where all applications are possible, whether it is electronics, whether it is electrical engineering, whether it is chemistry, everything, all the applications are there in chemical engineering. Means starting from manufacturing of chips, manufacturing of integrated circuit board, PCBs, everything, everywhere, means it is, whether it is taking, when you will be transferring that circuit into the PCB board, there also that etching process everywhere, in the, whether it is manufacturing or whether it is fabrication, everywhere that scope of applications of that knowledge is there. So when you will be visiting that particular lab, you please see if you have some innovative ideas, how you will be able to convert that idea into real things. So a lot of new topics. Suppose 3D printing technology. Previously, this 3D printing technology were not there. So if you have some idea to manufacture something, then we used to use lathe. We we used to use all those tools, mechanical tools to fabricate that. Now, small things you can manufacture with ease. Means just you do the modeling and you convert that into model by 3D printing technology. So if you want to do something in electronics also, that also you can do. So now IoT is playing a major role. So if you have some idea in that particular area, so at this stage you will be getting that information. And after means one day is nothing. So but you try to get the exposure of all these areas of development. Try to get the flavor of that. And with that ideas and flavor, if you return, then if you think comfortably, means actually that thinking for thinking or innovation, you should give or dedicate some time. So after that it will be crystallized, and then you will be able to think how to convert that idea into materials. So that way, if you do some invention, which is of course after invention also there is part of commercialization. All the invented products may not be commercialized. So commercialization part is also very important. So if that particular product is commercializable, then only that product is marketed. And you can, of course, patenting is another part, so that your idea cannot be duplicated by others. So patenting also, by you can protect the right of your product, so that even if somebody wants to take your product, take your idea, you will be getting royalty. So all those things are there. So you can from not what should I say? So if you have very good innovative idea, that will change you a lot. So you please, in this one day exposure to Idea Lab, you try to get the information or get the flavor of the technology by which you can apply in your idea to convert that idea into reality. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for inspiring all the young minds. Now I would like to welcome coordinator of HIT AICT Idea Lab, Dr. Gautam Kumar Bose, sir.
Good morning. Sleepy eyes already. Okay, guys. See, basically, this is a one-day program. Okay, so you kids, this is an opportunity that you can venture out in different areas of our institute. Okay, so in a very short span of time, we'll be taking you across our campus. Very short tour. You'll have a glimpse of some of our labs. Just go through it. Well, it's a very short span of time. I barely doubt how much you will learn and how much you will retain. But at least there will be some image which will be retained in your memory for quite some time. That is my expectation. And this is not the first and the last journey that we will going to make over here. We will be making more such kind of programs, and we'll be inviting your school, right? So there are programs for teachers also, right? So we are also expecting to call teachers who are interested to have this kind of developmental programs at HIT. We'll also be doing that.
And for students also, because in Haldia it's a hub of education, there are multiple schools. I mean, there is a lack of, what we felt like there is a lack of facility in exposing the students to the greatest level of technology, right? You will find very less scope in venturing out into the industries around. Probably it is not possible for you guys to get into the industries which are in and around Haldia, right? So this is the place where you can come, you can see and explore your ideas. So we are planning to make more such kind of boot camps over here for the school goers, which will help you out in developing the ideas, because my predecessors have already explained. So Professor Subrata Mandal sir, he is our principal sir, very eminent person in administration. He is an immense knowledge, and he was in the government job for quite some time, so he has an immense knowledge in this AICT, UGC, all this kind of technical board societies which are giving accreditations to various or several institutes across India. And we are also having two immense personalities. Professor Jana, he is a well-known figure in mechanical engineering. He has in-depth knowledge and a hell lot of an experience in industry. So, and he is with us, working with our Idea Lab for quite some time. He is helping us out in the technical aspect, giving us suggestions how we can develop. So we are very thankful to Professor Jana. And Dr. Ashish Saha is a gem of a person with respect to his knowledge and experience in the field of chemical engineering. He was the principal of HIT for quite some time, and his devotion in the field of research is unparalleled. We have with us Professor Devdatta Bose. He is a very dynamic person. He is from Electronics and Instrumentation Department. So he is my co-coordinator in this Idea Lab. So we are both working out. See, this lab has already started its journey in a very nascent stage right now. From 17th of May, we have started the journey. So more and more works are to be done. We are taking one step at a time to look into arenas, different arenas where we can expose our Idea Lab to develop this Haldia, not only in Haldia but across West Bengal. We can span out and help out the educational institutes. We can use our facilities, schoolgoers, college students who are doing some hobbies, right? So they can also use our facilities and explore their ideas over here. So it's open platform, anyone can use it, anyone can take help of the equipments and facilities we are having over here. So basically, guys, have you ever thought like you're using a phone, right? Everybody has his or her own phone, which is very precious, more precious than books and parents and relatives, right? So if a phone is lost, everything is lost. So have you felt how a phone works? Some of you have seen the watch having smart watches in their hand. Have you ever thought like how it's working? Okay, it's connected to the internet. Nowadays, the equipments like your washing machine, your ACs are being controlled from your mobile phones, right? Things are changing, guys. The world is moving at a very fast pace. The technology which are coming into the market. So you have cars which are, voice controlled, right? You give a command through your voice and it starts. So this kind of technologies are coming into the market. You find a person sitting in US and is operating his patient in India. Okay, so this kind of technology has already been developed. Now in US and in Western world, you have a driverless car. Right, nowadays they have driverless cars. So you can hire the car and it will drop you to your destination without a driver. There is no chauffeur in the car. So this is the technology we are having. Now we are not finding out any front desk person. You go to an office, you find a front desk person at the inquiry, right? So those are abolished in the Western world. So it's a AI system, artificial intelligence system will be interacting with you, right? So this kind of facilities are more and more engulfing our society. So I hope that you will be more acquainted with this kind of tech-savvy environment, and I hope you are more comfortable in this tech-savvy environment, but don't be a slave of this technology. Okay, so 24/7 Facebook, WhatsApp, don't do it. Okay, don't let the technology engulf you. Do you play? What are your hobbies? Do you have any hobbies? Or it's Facebook or chatting in WhatsApp? Teachers are smiling, right? Okay. Guys, go and play out in the sun. Have the feeling of the grass under your feet. Do that. Okay. At least for 1 hour, be in your free mind and let the sweat come off your body. That will rejuvenate your soul. Once you lose this youth, it will be lost forever. Okay. So, technology will be there, learning will be there, but at least don't waste your youth. Try to be a good person. Okay, because you are the elite class of our society. Your studying means very few kids in the world have the privilege to study. You are the privileged class. I'll take it for that. Very few. If you go across the UN statistics, very few, they are underprivileged. Very few get a chance to study in school, in proper education. Okay? So you are the privileged class. Try to utilize it. And since you are an Indian, you have some duty for your Matribhumi. You are getting educated. Utilize this education to develop your nation. Nation first. Okay? Try to utilize all your knowledge for the development of your mankind and for the development of your motherland. This should be your goal. Okay? Well, have a nice day today. Explore our department and HIT. Okay, see you soon. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you so much, sir. I would like to call co-coordinator, sir, Mr. Devdatta Ghosh, sir.
Good morning. Let us get some feedback from you. Good morning. Bit louder. So, I'll not speak much. I'll show you a PPT on the laboratory for which we have arrived here. So, I'll try to use some PowerPoint presentation, some visuals, and which will uncover the AICT Idea Lab, which we have established this year. We have started the operation already. So very small presentation, and after that in the second half when you will be visiting the laboratory, you will get the real feel of such technological systems. Right? So give me just some time so that I can start with it. So let us start the presentation. As you can see, the laboratory is named as HIT AICT Idea Lab. Since it's a joint venture, the entire cost is being shared by India Institute of Technology and AICT. By this time, you know what is AICT, right? What is AICT? All India Council for Technical Education. So AICT has got this idea from a very old idea which was established in USA. It's called Fab Lab. Fab came from fabrication. So here in this laboratory, we'll take up all the ideas and finally we'll go towards fabrication. So this idea laboratory, the background is basically a fab laboratory. So if you look at India, almost nearly 70 institutions has backed this recognition. We are one of them. In Bengal, you will find 3 institutions who have got this AICT Idea Laboratory. So what is Idea Laboratory? It's basically development, evaluation and application. In short, learning by doing. Alright? So vision, if you read out, you will understand. We need a robust ecosystem for nurturing innovation and startups, which will in turn drive sustainable technical and economical growth and generate large-scale employment opportunities throughout the nation. So Idea Lab could be set up to pull the innovative ideas, and it is sure that you have plenty of ideas in your mind. So you try to using various equipments, tools, consumables available under one roof for the conversion of an idea into a prototype. And furthermore, the Idea Lab would extend and go beyond the academic campus or a nearby region. We want to restrict our activities within the campus. We want to go beyond that. Taken as a mission, right? And we want to be the nation's Idea Lab, where students from each and every corner of the country can come up, can use these facilities and can develop the prototype. So if you quickly look at the objectives, you will understand. To provide all facilities under one roof, as I said earlier also, for the conversion of an idea into a prototype. You may have plenty of ideas, but if you do not get those facilities to convert them into prototypes, there is no point. Training in the 21st century skills. Now, unless you have the skills, you will be totally lost in this civilization. So important is you have to acquire certain skills, and skill will be your oxygen in your future life. Making engineering students more curious, imaginative and creative. Engineering education more engaging. Since we are representing engineering faculty, we will talk more about engineering, right? So it has to be more engaging because we do not want to believe in theoretical lectures. Let us work together in the laboratory. Let us learn. Let us do something for yourself, for the country. Idea Lab will be centered around activities. I'll be talking about some of the activities and events to promote multidisciplinary education and research. So this particular keyword is very, very important in today's world, multidisciplinary. Suppose if you take my case, I am electronics and instrumentation engineer. But my activities should not be centered only around instrumentation. It should join hands with mechanical, electrical, electronics, sometimes chemical, civil engineering, everywhere. So multidisciplinary activities will be very much required today. If you study any of the engineering, there you will find lots of footprints of computer science engineering. Because computer science engineering cannot move alone, rather other non-core departments cannot move alone. So they have to join hands. There comes the ability of multidisciplinary activities with skills. The facilities which we have in the laboratory, CNC wood cutter router, you will see that, just CO2 laser cutter and engraver, 3D scanning, 3D machining, PCB design and fabrication, advanced electronics workbench in the form of embedded system setup and IoT system. And we have 3D printer, right? Now I have talked about some of the activities. You will understand these are the activities we have to do from this laboratory so that this laboratory becomes a movement, technological movement. The first one you can see ideation workshop. Right at this moment, we are trying to spread the awareness among the students about our own students, about the students of outside, so that after a certain while we can conduct ideation workshops where we can take all the ideas together, we can shortlist and we can develop certain things which will satisfy the requirement of the industry, requirement of the society, right? And faculty development programs, it's required because unless faculty members are trained, how they can train the students? So it's all about train the trainers. Professional skilling programs we will have with industries. Skilling programs mainly for the students, for different segments of the students. Boot camps, we have not conducted yet, but yes, we have a plan to do that. Awareness workshops for industry. School teacher awareness program, my coordinator has already mentioned that. So we'll be calling many of your teachers from different institutions and we'll spend 2 days together. We'll have brainstorming session, we'll exchange ideas, we'll exchange the technical knowledges, so that after a while we can reach somewhere, right, which we are always aiming for. And finally, definitely we'll organize some annual conference and where all the stakeholders will be coming to join in the conference. Yes. Some of the photographs I have shown you. These are the photographs really produced in the different idea laboratories or fab lab. So, as I said, it's not a laboratory. This is not my line. This is the punchline used by AICT. It is not a laboratory. It is basically a technological movement, right? And if you join here, you can make your dream true. So that's it from my side. If you have any question on this presentation, you can always ask me. In the meantime, I'll show you one of the videos. Sorry. So this is a very short presentation on an idea laboratory. Once you visit that, if you work there, one day is not good enough. But let me tell you, once you attend this kind of open day program, you will be a member of this laboratory, right? So in future, always you can come and you can work in this laboratory, right? Because your names will be there in the AICT portal. So your AICT recognized students will be working in the idea laboratory. So keep that spirit. Try to implement the ideas, because you may have huge knowledge, but unless those knowledge is used in practice, what is the need of that? What is the benefit of the society? Right? So that's it from my side. After that, Dr. Tarun Gandhi Jana will be talking about a specific topic. Slowly, actually, we are entering into the laboratory. Theoretically, in the first term, practically in the second term. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your word of wisdom. So, I now request Professor Tarun Gandhi Jana, Dean, School of Engineering, through his immense knowledge in the field of metal cutting, non-traditional machining, CNC is computer numerically controlled machines. Nowadays, you will find each and every machines and mechanisms are computer controlled. So this mechanism of controlling machines with the language of computer is very much pertinent in today's industrial revolution. So Professor Jana will be giving you a glimpse of the new technology, the new domain, the new industrial development that has taken place, that has changed the industry dynamics to a large extent, from manual mode of operation to computer integrated machining system, which has transformed the manufacturing world, as well as it has increased the productivity to a large extent, which has made our life so simple. So now I'll give the
Thank you, Professor Bose and Professor Bose, for providing the glimpse of our AICT Idea Lab, which was developed over HIT campus. So, although the focus is on the AICT Idea Labs, but all of a sudden, if you are exposed to that sophisticated level of different machines and equipment, it may be difficult for you to understand what it is all about. So that is why, to make the lecture and this visit to some portion acceptable to you students, I have prepared the slides from a different perspective, how the different technological development had taken place from the very early stage of civilization. And from that initial area, today we have learned to a very sophisticated state of the art level. But that development is not end here. In the coming days, this trend of development will continue, and in your further college life, and more particularly in your professional life, you will be able to experience some more developments that will be taking place in future from time to time. How many of you who are studying class 11? Fine. we have started your preparing of your class 11 standard. Hopefully, after completion of your Madhyamik examination, maybe in the month of February. Is it right? When your Madhyamik or class 10 level exam took place? Huh? So February, March, now it is mid of August. So immediately after completion of your Madhyamik examination, you have start preparing for your 11th standard of education. As far as your subject physics is concerned, to what extent you have covered up? Don't consider that this is a basically lecture session or a viva session. I am not evaluating you. Just I would like to interact with you. Any question which is coming to your mind, you are welcome to ask. Not without any limitation. So, to what extent you have covered up in your physics in class 11? Pardon? Motion in the that is mechanics part. Entire mechanics is completed. Initial force analysis, Newton's law, impulse momentum, work, power, energy, all these are completed. Circular motion, some of these things. Afterwards, so this mechanics, it is one of the very foundation course which all the students of engineering, irrespective of their specialization, and Professor Ghosh was talking about. There is chemical, there is mechanical, there is instrumentation, of course there is computer electronics. They are supposed to study because it is one of the most fundamental. And this foundation is included in your syllabus of class 11 12. Afterwards, after completion of this initial mechanics portion, you will be exposed to exactly chapter wise I cannot recall, maybe the properties of materials, but topics like elasticity, fluid mechanics, calorimetry, heat transfer in the form of conduction, convection, radiation, these will be coming up in your syllabus. Then kinetic energy of gases, then sound. Hopefully this completes your 11, and in the 12, most likely you will be exposed to light and electricity, static electricity, current electricity, magnetic effect, and some emerging areas which we provide or which we study in your college level as a complete engineering discipline, which Professor Ghosh has already told, that is the electronics and communication engineering. Of course, in your syllabus it will come in a very small form. That is, the communication is included in your syllabus. Digital electronics is also some portion is included in your EHS syllabus. That what you are studying right now, that will be furnished in larger perspective, in larger domain, and that categorize the different areas of engineering. As far as this fluid mechanics is concerned, thermodynamics is concerned, mechanics is concerned, these are fundamentally the various foundation course of engineering, mechanical engineering. Similarly, what you are studying in the electronics, some portion of digital electronics, communication, these are part of electronics and communication engineering. Okay. Similarly, some sort of communication or other, even in your early stage of schooling, level, and in our graduation engineering level, we take in computer science, we take in AI, ML, we take in data science, cyber security. These are very upcoming and emerging areas in which the BTech or graduation programs are offered. So my theme is that, so basically you are supposed to be correlated. What you are studying right now, that would be proliferated in your subsequent areas of education. Okay, so try to match with your what you are studying and what you anyway, the majority portion or the significant portion is still left which you have to be covered in your 11, remaining part of the 11 and of course in class 12. Those who are also in the Madhyamik level, same thing but in a smaller form. Same Archimedes. Today we have been able to through the use of steam power and mechanization of production, new chemical manufacturing and iron production processes, improve efficiency of water power and the development of machine. Right now, just try to go back to the initially in the end some stone articles and some how the fresh and fruits, how we can prepare other categories of foods for our livelihood. So that was the driving force in the first industrial revolution gradually. So the focus was initially replacement of the human power. You know that our muscle power is very limited. Just imagine your home. If you want to lift a bucket, so after development, what is available on floor to second floor, third floor, top floor, top floor? Anything? Pardon? Pounds. Five times. But pipelines is basically a conduit. So which it is transported. But what exactly, which item or which machine exactly lifts the water? You have seen. Now why I am telling all these things? Try to correlate what is available in your society, in your home, in your school. Try to correlate with those things. That should be your idea. Pump. Pump is available in our home. So we put on the switch in the morning. From the ground floor to the top level. So that eases. So here, whenever pump is available, we need not to rely on our muscle power, which is limited. So our muscle power is now replaced by power of some non-living system. So it is one such development that had taken place very early stage. What is the second line? To the use of steam power. How many of you have seen the steam engine? Where? Darjeeling? Jordan? Or here? Huh? Where? Actual image. No, I'm here. It is almost going to be observed. Only a few available in the Darjeeling Himalaya Jordan, or maybe in the Himachal, I am not very sure. So in our childhood, we have seen a lot of steam engine. At that time, these TMU locals were not there, or these diesel engines were not there. So railway was dependent on this steam power. So that is one of the major development in the first industrial revolution. Kilometer or even more than that. Can you rely on your legs, or can you go for the bicycle? So we want some substitution, of course, by non-living system, which will give us more advantage, so that quickly, comfortably, and of course safely we can move from one location to the other location. So that development which had taken place in the early 18th century in the form of railway system, airlines, and of course your road transport in the form of different vehicles with an exorbitant speed. In the modern days car, you can register the highest level of speed in the level of 140 km per hour or 150 km per hour. If you think about the Mercedes-Benz or BMW cars, you can comfortably ride or you sail through or propel the vehicle at this exorbitant high speed, provided your road permits. So all these developments have taken place to ease our life, to develop the system, of course, by the non-living system, to give us or to get the potential benefit of the non-living. Because our power is limited. At what speed you can, I believe that someone has got extremely very powerful energy. At what maximum speed you can drive a bicycle? You will be exhausted after 10 minutes, after 15 minutes. So that is limited. But if you want to continue over a long distance, spanning over or requiring 1 or 2 hours or even more, you have to rely on railway system or car or something like that, or even bike also. So that sort of developments had taken place. I am coming a little bit later on the term mechanical production, new chemical manufacturing, iron production. Now, majority of our industrial material or equipment, the components, Those are manufactured through the iron and steel. Of course, there are a lot of applications of aluminum. It is not available on the surface. So iron is available. Hopefully, you have also studied in your history or science and background that iron are available. Iron, copper, aluminum, all are available in the form of iron ore. Most of the resources, procurement of the natural resources like iron ore, coal, gas, these were the prime focus of the first industrial revolution. And that revolution is still continuing. It is not that it has stopped. But without the initial raw material, we cannot manufacture or we cannot produce anything. Other thing, I would say improved efficiency of water power and the development of machine tools. In water power, I was talking about the pump. Similarly, for the electricity generation, fundamentally, whatever electricity we talk about or usually consume, those are called thermal costs. You have seen Kolahar is nearby. Even CSC plant is also available in Haldia, in some of Haldia Energy Limited, or Bandel, NTPC. A lot of two categories of sectors are there. Some from Government of India, Government of India, which converts electrical energy to mechanical energy for some intended purpose. Now, just take some examples from your household. Washing machine, mixer grinder. Mixer grinder, there is a plug connected to the plug point. Put on the switch, it starts rotating. You put the spices or vegetables or fruits, smash it or to grind it and extract the juices. So what happens? Electrical energy is converted to mechanical energy. The very good example is fan. You can put on the switch. So electrical energy is converted to, it is rotating, and due to the design of the blade, it circulates air properly so that it can be cooled down. So in all the machines, fundamentally, electrical energy is converted to mechanical energy. Once again, objective is same: how to get the work done by some non-living system for different purpose. Purpose of washing machine and purpose of mixer grinder is completely different. So likewise, you will find ample machines. Another term I would like to mention, engine. You have also heard about this. Do you think those who have already, I don't know whether you have already covered up in your class 11 I was referring to. Thermodynamics is one chapter. Okay. So in thermodynamics, you will find after second law of thermodynamics, Carnot engine. Okay, so returning back your home just to have a look to your physics book, you will find Carnot engine. So Carnot is a scientist anyway. So we talk about engine or the car that we are using or bike that we are using. Before procurement, before buying, we specify what is the engine capacity, what types of engines are there. There we do not call it machine, but we call it as engine. So what should be the feature? What are the distinguishing features between an engine and machine? Why I am giving these examples, whatever you study in your class 10, 11, whatever term you will be coming across, try to feel its real meaning. Then your idea will be far better and you will be able to understand the subject is two perspectives. You will find Carnot engine is there. Another item that is also prevalent in our kitchen or home, refrigerator. Is it a machine? So again, from the true perspective, again electrical energy is converted to some sort of mechanical energy, but eventually that mechanical energy is utilized to cool the food that you are storing within the chamber. So that is also connected by a plug. So you have to put on the switch. But same thing does not happen in your car. Of course, there is a battery. But why the car or one item which is instrumental, we call this as engine. Engine develops power. not by converting electrical energy, but by burning fuel. Either petrol engine or diesel engine. In the current days, LPG engines are also available. CNG driven basically engines are also available. So some form of fuel is required. So the chemical energy stored in those fuels are burned to liberate heat, and that heat is utilized or converted to the mechanical energy, which helps to propel the vehicle. So that is the difference of engine, where fuel is burned to convert to heat and then mechanical energy. That is called engine. But machines are electrical to mechanical for some intended or purposeful objective. So these were in a nutshell was the development of the first industrial revolution. The term what I have left, which appears the violet color, mechanization of the production. The second, it is illustrated in the last sentence. Mechanization refers to getting the work done by non-moving systems, that is replacement of muscle power by some other. So our major focus in the 18th century for the first part of industrial revolution, major focus was how to get the work done by some non-living system. And more we rely on the non-living system, we can replace or we can shape our muscle power, and of course the magnitude of the power will be much higher as compared to our muscle power. I was referring to the pump. It can transmit water from the ground level to the top floor much faster. But if it was replaced by muscle power, how many bucket of water you can carry at a time? Maximum 2. And after moving for one time, it becomes exhausted. So that is not so. So this sort of lot of developments have taken place in the early stages of industrial revolution. That is called. What I was talking about, James Watt developed the first steam engine in 1776, just imagine, which is perhaps the most remarkable achievement during that particular period. During this period, the concept of production and mechanization emerged, and wide varieties of machine tools came into existence. In the earlier slide also there was a term machine tool, which I did not explain now. Afterwards, I will show you few figures and which you will be able to see in our workshop. So the first generation machine tools, that does not mean these are obsolete, they are still available, but keeping those things intact or with some modifications, some other developments had taken place, which we can enjoy right now thanks to the development of computers. So the current generation machine tool, which you will experience in the Idea Lab, or once two such machines are also available in this particular building in our CAD lab, those are called basically CNC machines. I will explain later on. Basically, those are computer controlled or computer powered. Next. Just a minute. Just over. So machine tool. This machine tool is again, I will not elaborate much, but it is purely to the mechanical category. So machine tool is a special category of machine. Machine tool is a special category of machine where we generate the very accurate and intricate shape, complex shapes of definite size with much more accuracy, good surface finish by cutting the extra material by employing relative motion between the job or the raw material and the work. And the extra material will be coming out in the form of small particles, which in our manufacturing fraternity we call chips. Okay, I am not going to that much detail, but this much I should say. These machine tools are one category of machines which are used for different mechanical complicated components there. If you think of an automobile, of a car or a bike, if you dismantle it, you will find thousands of components are there. Different components require different types of shape, size, their accuracy, their surface finish. So to visualize or to realize those components of different shapes and sizes, we require different types category of machine tools and of course different types of relative motions. Because if you compare between these two items, this is more or less cylindrical. Because these are cylindrical, or the pen that you are holding, these are more or less cylindrical. but this item roughly parallelepiped type structure. Okay, square shaped. So these two items will not undergo same type of operation. So different types of machine tools are there. Okay, so wide varieties of machine tools are there. Okay. Next, second industrial revolution began in the 19th century through the discovery of electricity and assembly line of production. This assembly line of production is the one of the very remarkable attainment in the second industrial revolution, and this technique is still going on in the automobile industry, more predominantly for the manufacturing industry. Okay. Henry Ford, perhaps you have heard this name. Henry Ford, who took the ideas of mass production from a slaughterhouse in Chicago and carried over this principle into automobile production, that drastically altered the process. Mass production basically means in a business, if you want to make profit or if you want to manufacture components economically, you have to rely on those systems so that your time of production will be less and you can produce more items in lesser time. Otherwise, you will be able to produce the item, but economically it is not possible. So unless and until it is economically possible, we cannot survive in the business. So the basic concept of any business is cut down the cost of manufacturing and with a profit margin sell to the market so that you can earn more revenue and thereby you can register growth. So unless you are in the profit making zone, over long run you will see it. So the objective from the manufacturing point of view, how to cut down the time. Okay. So that is why Henry Ford introduced the concept of assembly line of production. That means different machines will be laid out in such a way so that from material will flow from one station to other station continuously in the shortest possible time. Thereby, zigzag motion will be reduced, unnecessary transportation will not be there, and that will enhance the productivity. Even in the discovery channel, quite often the automobile manufacturing process are formed. Lot of industrial robots are there for carrying out welding, spray painting type of work. So those are some sort of examples of the assembly line. Okay. So in the last line you see, while before one station assembled an entire automobile, now the vehicles were produced in the partial steps on the conveyor belt at significantly faster rate and lower cost. So whenever we think of something, we have to think it how economically we can do that. That's the one. Okay, next. Several categories of special purpose machines, automatic and semi-automatic machines, were designed and developed, giving rise to the concept of hard automation and interchangeability. Here, very typical technical word. One thing just I would like to tell you. In earlier slide, I had told you that mechanization. That means to get the work done by some non-living system. Instead of carrying out calculation by manual means, you make use of your smartphone or laptop or computer, whatever available. So we are getting the work done by some non-living system. That is mechanization. But at the same time, if in addition to the replacement of muscle power, if we have got another power, what power is? We have got some muscle power. We can do or carry out some work with our hands or legs. What power else we do have? Exactly, that is the brain power. That is the most vital and crucial. So if the brain means decision making. So if decision making is also possible to take care of or taken care by some non-living system, then that is called automation. And that is why I told you at the very beginning, we call automatic washing machine, which are available at the moment. So, mechanized, that is the spinning of your rotor blades, that is also available, so that is the mechanization. But you will find a lot of switches, some displays are there, how much time you spin, there will be certain pause, during which water flow will take place, then there will be some resting period, then there may be your what is called drying time, all are programmed sequentially. So that means decision is also taken care of by some non-living systems. So if it is so, then we can say those are automated machine or automatic equipment. So in one hand, we would like to replace the muscle power by mechanization, and at the same time, particularly after the development or invention of the computer, majority of the brain power, calculation, decision making is nowadays taken care of by the computer. That is an organic system. So widespread automation is realized by computers. So automation refers to use of non-living system to execute intelligent or decision making. Okay. And those are the things which are also taken care of in different machines which are available in our laboratory, particularly the idea. Third industrial revolution in the 70s. That means in our childhood, we have seen this transformation. What is this? Advancement of memory programmable controllers and computers. So now, in the 70s, the major developments in the digital electronics and computerization had started, and till now, the passage of time, this development is continuing. And of course, at the same time, communication technology had also developed. That is why in the current generation, we rely heavily on the internet. Maybe for your classroom, maybe for your lecture, or maybe for other activities. So the earlier that concept of automation was mainly taken care of by the mechanical components. I am not going to that much detail, but those are inflexible mechanical items. But now these are all programmable. So depending on your requirement, you can change the program, and your program is ready for new problem solving. So that is why it offers a lot of flexibility. So that is why the current days systems which relies on the computer or the program or the software are called flexible. Example, CNC machine. In the first half, Professor Bose was showing some of the facilities that you will be having in our idea lab or even in our calcium lab. I will show you. This CNC stands for computer numerical control. So only first C that implies that there is a computer to control these activities. The machine tools which you will see in our conventional workshop, you will find that those are controlled continuously by a person. But in CNC, there are a lot of coded instructions which computer can read and can automatically execute the program. Industrial robot, the name robot, the name robot that you have also seen, you have heard of. Have you seen the robot in the TV? So those industrial robots are also extensively used in industry. Even in the current days in the medical science, robot-assisted knee surgery, robot-assisted lot of surgeries are being taken place. They are much more accurate. Your pain to the patient will be much less. Blood loss will also be very, very less. So, in the very beginning, I told you that benefits of the development is not only confined to the engineering people, but other people all across the globe, irrespective of their areas of activities, can take the benefits of this computerization at first time. ये आगे स्लाइड देखिए. But okay. Currently, right now, in 2020-22, we are passing to the fourth industrial revolution. Up till third, there was only programmable controller or CNCs. Okay, computer was there. Meanwhile, lot of development had taken place in the form of internet communication, IoT, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and data analytics. These are now very common. If you go to the internet, you find. So these developments are once again merged together to the core engineering or other disciplines which Professor Bose was talking about. It may be mechanical, it may be chemical, it may be civil, it may be medical science, it may be sports, it may be administration, anywhere, because their potential is so enormous. each and every sphere of activities can be controlled, or they can derive the potential benefit of this internet, communication, IoT, smart devices. The very prominent example would be the smartphone that you are having. So you can just imagine how much added advantage you can get by using a safety net smartphone. Well, thousand number of features are available, and in the coming days, some new features will be incorporated in the WhatsApp learning model. So that is how this continuous development is going on. Okay. So that is the things that I have mentioned, and at the same time, in our mechanical machines, whenever some fault takes place, we have to put it off. The situation is similar to when your pumps break down at your home, or you encounter some problem with your car. You have to go to the service station or call a mechanic to repair it. But during that time, machine or the car will no longer be in use. That is undesirable. But with this advancement of this sensor technology, computer, all these things, it is possible to continuously monitor the health status of the different machines, and that will be able to predict what deficiency or what lacuna is present and when it is going to fail. Just try to correlate with your medical science. Doctor prescribe some sort of your test, some radiological test or your pathological test. So, scanning to the result, the doctor can prescribe he or she is more prone to diabetes or more prone to heart attack, something like that. The heart condition is not good. So some precautionary measure or some medicine has to be prescribed or some surgery has to be attended. So what happens? So before some catastrophic failure, we can take corrective preventive action. Same logic holds true in this case. We call it as a predictive maintenance. That means this fan is already, there is some noise, there is some heating. So through this predictive maintenance, it is possible that after 2 months, this fan will come to a halt. It will no longer work. So it is better to stop it and take preventive measures. So that is, there is a saying, prevention is better than cure. So that holds true. That makes it possible to the advanced technology. Now just I will come to the few slides. So these are the first slide. So this is one type of very fundamental category of machine that we are having in our workshop. It is the first generation machine tool, but that does not mean it is obsolete. Still it is used not only in our workshop, even in other industries, whether in Haldia, Kolkata, Chennai, they are still in use. This is one category I was talking about. This is a cylindrical job, this is a rectangular job. So if you want to cut certain material from this type of job, it has to be planned in this chart. You see here is this one is revolving one. It will undergo rotation at high speed, and in this we call it as a tool post. There will be a cutting tool, the hardness of which is much harder than the raw material. Otherwise, it won't be possible to cut. So it will keep on rotating at high RPM, and it will have a linear movement, thereby eliminating the material, which will enable to reduce the diameter from a larger diameter to smaller. Some other functions are also possible. So this is we call as a lathe, which is very fundamental category of machine control. This is the we see this is some animation. Okay, so we call it as job. No need to remember, just to have a glimpse of that. So this job is rotating with this is gripping, and this will, and a cutting tool is in contact with that. That will eliminate the extra material to generate a job of desired size, shapes, and of course other things. The different components are named. No need to remember or understand those things. फिर आगे একটা ছিল কি the another hole making. We see a lot of holes are there in the class. So this hole making is also very common work that we encounter in our domestic use also. You have seen that some of your carpenter or electricians bring some hand drill and make certain holes to mount certain boards or something like that. This hole making is very prominent and common. That is taken care of by a machine called drilling machine. reduced, then you have to make use of this sort of machine. So depending on the geometry of the job, you have to make use of different category of machine. Next, this is some automated features are there, but mind that there is no computer there. I was talking about hard automation. That means this is early generation of automation. Their automation was accomplished by using lot of mechanical components, but which are not as such very much relevant in the current days. But we cannot discard completely because one generation majority of the automation is taken care of by computer, internet, and other advanced technology. Next, one last point. This is what this is. That's one slide I have mentioned. The machine that will be going through in the idea lab, those are all basically of CNC in nature, which is called computer numerical control. Here, what we prepare certain coded instructions to be able to interpret in the our AIC idea. And last factor. This is just a photograph of a CNC machine, which you will be able to see. Next, this category machine is available in our CAD/CAM laboratory. Okay, that is also a CNC machining center, which deals with this type of work. And finally, this is the fourth generation, the upcoming machine tool, which is not yet been as such realized in the commercially, still in the R&D phase. This is called fourth generation machine tool. That is called cyber physical machine tool. Only key thing is that basic machine tool will remain same, but at the same time there will be some data acquisition as I was talking about. This is the machine tool. Some data acquisition devices will be there. So those data will be interpreted, will be utilized for decision making, and accordingly you take judicial decision for operation and maintenance of the different component by sending those data over the internet and carry out lot of decision making process or optimization using AI techniques. And of course there will be some, just like your mobile phone or smartphone, there will be, these are connected to the internet. So all these present generation machine, not only this one, you find smart lights are also available in the Amazon 400-500 rupees. So smart lights, smart TV. In the current days, all gadgets are named smart. So smart means there is some communicating feature, some lecture. Okay, just I had wanted to give you the glimpse of how different type of development are taken place from the very early stage of first industrial revolution up till now. Now we have a opportunity to have some glimpse of the different machines which are available at our workshop, CAD/CAM laboratory, and of course. So thank you very much.
So, are you feeling hungry?
Obviously.
So, there will be a very short visit to one of our laboratory upstairs, the second floor, CAD/CAM laboratory. After that, we'll go for
The
lunch.
last machine to Dakar, the same machine is available. Just you
The
will
last
have
machine.
50 minutes how it looks like.
So, let us visit that laboratory. After that, we'll go for lunch. After the lunch, we'll have some practical sessions. So, we'll first visit the workshop, then idea laboratory. Okay? Happy?
Okay, now just be second. I just want to announce your groups. Okay, so we have subdivided your entire class into 4 groups. So group 1 comprises of Ananya Roy, Srijita Guchai, Shaunak Jana, Sonik Jana, Shobhit Karan, Indrajit Bera, Shastik Maiti, Joy Kumar Borai,